Hey there, gaming enthusiasts. Welcome to Gaming Axia, your go-to source for all amazing action RPGs. Today, we are talking about the best ARPG masterpiece to play in 2025. It's the kind of game with isometric views, grabbing tons of loot, and customize your characters. Well, what are we waiting for? Let's get started. On number 20, we have Minecraft Dungeons. This game is a family-friendly ARPG that offers action-packed adventure without the blood and gore. Players will set out to save villagers from the enemy's control, battling classic Minecraft enemies in a series of well-designed levels. The game's charm lies in its simple yet engaging gameplay where you unlock gear, enchant equipment, and level up as you progress. It's easy to pick up, and with options for single-player or cooperative play, both online and offline, it's a great fit for families and friends. Minecraft Dungeons provides a rewarding experience that appeals to both young adventurers and seasoned gamers alike. On number 19, we have The Ascent. It's a futuristic, cyberpunk-inspired ARPG. The game looks amazing. Every area has a different style, and you'll see detailed streets, flashy lights, and cool sci-fi buildings. Moreover, The Ascent adds a layer of strategy with its cover system and multiple aiming heights, giving each battle a tactical edge. There's also a wide variety of guns and abilities to experiment with, making combat a real highlight. However, not everything runs smoothly in this game. A locked camera angle often leaves enemies off-screen, turning fights into guesswork. Despite these setbacks, The Ascent offers moments of fun, especially in co-op mode. Whether you're playing on the couch or online, it's always more enjoyable to tackle a chaotic cyberpunk world with friends. On number 18, we have Torchlight. Developed by the same team behind Diablo 1 and 2, it delivers the classic formula we all know, exploring deep mines, fighting off monsters, grabbing tons of loot, and leveling up your hero. It's not a groundbreaking game, but it's incredibly fun and easy to jump into. Set in the small mining town of Torchlight, you'll pick one of 3 character classes, a powerful warrior, a stealthy archer, or a spellcasting mage, and head into the mines below to face waves of enemies. Alongside you is your trusty pet, which can help in fights, carry items, and even run back to town to sell loot. This little helper adds a lot of convenience and keeps the action flowing. On number 17, we have Ghostlore. In the world of ARPGs, Ghostlore immediately stands out. It has creative class and skill system. You begin with a single class and a set of abilities, but as you level up, you can unlock new slots on a skill grid. Once you unlock a second class, you gain access to a whole new batch of skills that can combine with your original ones to create completely new abilities. Later, when a third class opens up, the options become even more exciting. Additionally, the game is especially fascinating with its Southeast Asian setting, which draws inspiration from its local folklore. You'll face unique enemies based on regional myths and gather ingredients to cook traditional dishes. The game's mix of modern and timeless settings adds to its charm. On number 16, we have No Rest for the Wicked. This game brings a fresh twist to the ARPG genre, even in its early access state. It features a unique blend of slow, thoughtful combat and unexpected features, like decorating your own home that set it apart from more traditional hack-and-slash experiences. The combat, in particular, is a standout. Unlike the rapid-fire battles of games like Diablo, here you'll need to carefully time-dodge rolls, parries, and strategic attacks against smaller groups of enemies. Every fight feels personal and intense, making every victory a hard-earned reward. This game is already quite good. As the developers refine and expand it, this could become a standout title in the genre. On number 15, we have Achilles Legends Untold. It's not the loot-heavy ARPG I expected, but instead a thoughtful, story-driven adventure. The story takes you through a reimagined ancient Greece, filled with vengeance, mythical creatures, and divine justice. As for the gameplay, it leans into strategic combat, where you're meant to block, dodge, and parry your way to victory. While the combat isn't groundbreaking, the game's skill tree, designed as a constellation of stars, is both clever and visually striking. And it's always fun to see Greek mythology brought to life through the variety of monsters and bosses you face. While the game might not live up to its claim of intense Souls-like combat, the story and characters will keep you engaged. On number 14, we have Sands of Aura. In this game, you start with character creation, choosing your look and a weapon. The game sets the stage with a cinematic introduction. A god's wrath has turned the world into a sea of sand, and you must fight to save what remains. The combat in Sands of Aura has that classic Souls-like challenge. You'll face tough enemies and bosses that demand careful timing and strategy. At first, you will keep dying a lot, but every defeat helps you practice your moves and get better. It's definitely a live and learn kind of game. On number 13, we have Victor Vran. This game is an ARPG that ditches character classes in favor of weapons that define how you fight. Each weapon comes with its own unique attacks and strategies, letting you switch up your playstyle anytime. From broadswords and scythes to shotguns and lightning guns, you'll have plenty of tools to take on the undead hordes. The combat is more active than traditional point-and-click dungeon crawlers. You'll dodge, swing, and cast spells in a fast-paced battle system that feels great, especially in co-op. There's no need to worry about skill trees, just find a weapon you like, add in some demon powers for flashy moves, and use destiny cards to boost your stats. On number 12, we have Warhammer 40k Inquisitor Martyr. In this game, you take on the role of a powerful Imperial Inquisitor in the grimdark universe of Warhammer 40k. Whether you're crushing enemies with heavy firepower, slicing through foes as a deadly assassin, or wielding psychic powers to devastate your enemies, the game has plenty of options to fit your style. However, the combat is too straightforward. While each class has its own playstyle, fights don't require much tactical thinking. The Crusader class is fun, but most battles boil down to holding down the trigger until the enemy drops. Despite this, the game does have some highlights. The main campaign offers intriguing twists, a chance to pilot a powerful combat walker, and choices that affect the story. On number 11, we have Diablo 3. This is a straightforward game that knows exactly what it's about: slaying monsters, collecting loot, and getting stronger. There's no long-winded storytelling, no need to save the universe in a dozen different ways. It's just you, your character, and a whole lot of enemies to smash through. At its core, Diablo 3 isn't trying to reinvent the wheel. It's pure, honest fun, a relaxing game to unwind with solo or with friends. Whether you're exploring dungeons or chasing the next great piece of loot, Diablo 3 is easy to jump into, even if you've never played a Diablo game before. On number 10, we have Diablo 4. This game brings a fresh approach to the franchise, delivering a massive open world packed with things to do. While it leans heavily on a darker, grittier tone, it still offers players the freedom to shape their experience. The game kicks off with a solid character creation system. The open world map is full of surprises, dungeons to explore, world events to join, and hidden treasures to find. It's a playground for those who enjoy experimenting with builds and refining their character's look, thanks to easy transmog options and a deep skill tree. In addition to that, the game's polished visuals and top-notch production values help it stand out. Though the storytelling might not always shine outside of cinematic cutscenes, the game's scope, depth, and sheer variety of content make it an exciting entry in the series. On number 9, we have the incredible adventures of Van Helsing. In this game, you play as Van Helsing's son, battling in a world of magic and science. The combat feels familiar yet fresh. You'll switch between sword and gunplay, add modifiers to your attacks, and strategize against a wide variety of enemies. The game keeps you on your toes, and your ghostly companion, Katarina, helps lighten your load and cracks some great jokes along the way. There are some unique twists too, like tower defense style sequences that mix traps with ARPG gameplay. While the co-op mode is limited and enemies don't respawn, the single player experience shines with a story that evolves as you progress. On number 8, we have Titan Quest Anniversary Edition. This game brings back a beloved ARPG from 2006 with polished visuals, updated sound, and all the classic hack-and-slash gameplay fans remember. The game takes players on a journey through ancient Greece and Egypt, fighting mythical monsters and gathering loot. While the remaster stays faithful to the original, some aspects feel a bit dated, especially the combat. That said, Titan Quest still has a lot going for it. The environments are rich and detailed, the soundtrack is excellent, and the progression system offers plenty of depth. If you stick with it, you'll find 30 hours of classic ARPG fun. On number 7, we have Path of Exile. This game was launched back in 2013 as a free-to-play ARPG, and it's still going strong nearly over a decade later. From its sprawling skill tree to its constant stream of content updates, Path of Exile has remained one of the top games in the genre. Path of Exile is known for its deep mechanics, endless customization, and a player-driven economy. Over the years, it's added new expansions, leagues, and challenges that keep the game feeling fresh. While veterans can blast through it in a day, new players might find themselves struggling to understand the mechanics. The massive skill tree, the many defensive strategies, and the unpredictable loot system can be intimidating, but that's where the community comes in. Guides and player advice are plentiful, helping new players navigate the complexity and avoid common pitfalls. On number 6, we have V Rising. This is an ARPG that really embraces the vampire lifestyle. The game really nails the vampire experience with mechanics like a shifting day-night cycle and the need to keep your blood supply topped up. Even the blood type of your prey matters, granting you temporary buffs and pushing you to hunt more strategically. On top of that, you get to design your own sprawling vampire castle. The customization options are impressive, with floating candelabras, creepy treasure chests, and 6-story layouts for your private lair. All in all, V Rising is a dark and memorable experience for fans of the genre, and one of the best vampire games you'll find today. On number 5, we have Torchlight 2. It's an incredibly fun ARPG that builds on the strengths of its predecessor while adding new layers of polish and improvement. The game drops you into a world brimming with loot, giving you all the dungeon crawling goodness you could ask for. As for the combat, it's quick and engaging with a new charge mechanic that rewards you for staying in the fight and a range of well-balanced classes that cater to different playstyles. And of course, loot is everywhere. Hidden in urns, dropped by monsters, and stashed in treasure chests. While the inventory can fill up quickly, the inclusion of a pet that can carry items back to town helps keep you focused on the action. It's a satisfying cycle of fighting, looting, and upgrading that never feels stale. On number 4, we have Last Epoch. This game has been on quite the journey, evolving from early access into a fully realized ARPG. Its time-traveling story is a decent backdrop for what really stands out: deep character customization and a crafting system that puts you in control. While the endgame content can feel repetitive at times, the game's flexible skill trees and forgiving learning curve make it accessible for new players and satisfying for veterans. Even with a bumpy launch, Last Epoch has found its footing, offering a rewarding grind that keeps you coming back for just one more run. With time and polish, it's shaping up to be a long-term favorite among ARPG fans. On number 3, we have Diablo 2 Resurrected. Diablo 2 defined the ARPG genre, paving the way for games like Path of Exile and indie newcomers such as Last Epoch. Its impact on gaming history is undeniable. The Resurrected version revives the 2000 classic with beautiful visuals. It stays true to the original's hardcore systems, limited respecs, intense inventory management, and challenging progression. The 3D visuals overlay the original game's mechanics, so it plays exactly as it did 2 decades ago. If you've ever loved Diablo 2 or even just thought about trying it, this remaster is the perfect opportunity. On number 2, we have Grim Dawn. It's one of the best ARPGs out there. The combat is everything you'd want in an ARPG. Whether you're swinging a sword, casting fire spells, or blasting enemies with explosives, every hit feels satisfying. Early on, you can rely on button mashing, but as you progress, you'll need to think more tactically. On top of that, Grim Dawn offers a steady stream of loot, so you'll always have something new to equip. Weapons, armor, magical items, they drop frequently, making each encounter feel rewarding. In conclusion, Grim Dawn is an ARPG that knows its roots, builds on them, and delivers a top-notch experience. On number 1, we have Path of Exile 2. The long-awaited early access release of Path of Exile 2 is finally here. One of the first things you'll notice in this game is the stunning improvement in graphics. The environments are richer and more detailed, character animations are smoother, and the game runs beautifully on modern systems. As for the combat, it feels more fluid than ever, with all classes now able to attack while moving, making gameplay more dynamic and responsive. Path of Exile 2 feels like a culmination of everything Grinding Gear Games has learned over the years. The early access version already delivers a rich, polished experience, and it's clear that the full release will be even more ambitious. And there you have it, fellow gamers. Which game is your favorite? Did we miss one that deserves a spot on the list? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more epic gaming content, and ring that bell so you're always up to date on the latest and greatest games. Until next time, and happy gaming!